Forecasting your deals in Monday.com may seem really complicated, but in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So let's head straight over to Monday.com. As you can see here, I am in the deal section in the Monday Sales CRM. Now, do bear in mind, this will work perfectly for the work management as well. The only thing you need to consider is you must have the professional version of either Monday Sales CRM or Monday Work Management because we need access to the formula column. So let's get started. As you can see here, we've got a number of different stages on our deals. So we've got new, discovery, proposal, negotiation, won, and unfortunately lost. Now, we then have deal value. And what I would like to do is I would like to forecast the predicted value by the close date on a month-to-month basis. So if I know that, let's say, the close date for deal 2 is expected to be the 10th of May, or hypothetically at some point in May, and the stage at the moment is in negotiation, so that is very close to being a finalized deal, then I want to know a percentage probability that this opportunity or this deal is going to close based on the stage, and then I want to see what that is forecasted month by month. I know that sounds really, really complicated, but essentially we're going to create a view or a dashboard that shows you what your forecasted revenue is month by month by the deal value and the stage that those deals are in. And this is a great way to predict the likelihood of income and revenue for your business. So what do we need to do in order to make this happen? First and foremost, we need to create a formula column. So let's go to the plus button on the far right hand side here and go to the more columns, and we're just going to search formula, okay? And go ahead and select this option. Now, I have gone ahead and created this to save you an immense amount of time on this video and also setting this up. All you need to do is go to the description in this video and copy and paste this code into the formula column. So I've gone ahead and copied it. I'm just going to go ahead and paste it now. So I know this looks crazy. I know there's a lot going on, but I'm going to walk you through absolutely everything. Okay. So what we are saying is if stage is equal to new, and that's just the stages we have on this particular board. This is all going to vary depending on your board setup, and I'll walk you through that in this video. Then we want to allocate a 20% likelihood of conversion, and I want to see 20% of the deal value. Okay. I know this seems crazy, but trust me, just follow along and we'll get this to work. So if stage, so if your status option for your deals is called anything different, all you need to do is just change the name. So normal, just write it in, remove and write in. So of course mine's called stage. So if stage, you might have it called deal stage. So if you do, just write deal space stage, exactly how you see it. Okay. So I'm just going to leave mine as stage equals to new. So you need to know your various status options. So on here, I've got new, discovery, proposal, negotiation, won, and then lost. Okay. So I've got if stage is equal to new. So make sure you copy word for word these different stages. And then I don't expect you to know the immediate answer to this. If you do, you're smashing it. Congratulations. But just as a rough ballpark, I've said that if the status of this particular deal is equal to new, then there is a 20% likelihood that this is going to convert. So I'm telling Monday.com that I want to see 20% of the deal value as the forecasted revenue for the months to come, or whenever the predicted close date is. If you think 20% is too high, you can change this, literally just change it to 10. Or if you think it's too low, you could change it, or if you think it's above 20, you could change it to 25, okay? So I'm going to leave mine as 20 for the time being. And then the final thing that you need to know is deal value. Now you might have a different name for this. You may have it called amount, or I don't know, anything, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's called on your board, just make sure it matches word for word. Okay. And then all you need to do is go through line by line and update everything. So just to recap, we firstly have stage. So if stage, so just make sure it matches the name of the column, stage, and then is equal to discovery. So you need to make sure it matches the various stages on your pipeline. And then we've got the value, so 30%. You may think again that discovery, 30% likelihood of conversion is a little bit high. You may change that to 20 or 25, so it's just slightly above new. It's entirely up to you. And then just make sure you update the deal value column so it matches the name of the value that you use to track the deal. So again, it might be amount. And just keep going through this. Just keep working through this, okay? Now, as you can see, there are 5 different stages. If you need to add an additional stage, you can do. What I would recommend doing is taking this out, putting this in a notepad or somewhere where you can edit the code and then just copy and paste it in. It does get a bit messy inside of Monday, but it's a lot easier to do if you do it outside of it and then just copy and paste the updated information back in. So the only other thing to note is obviously we are saying if, so if statements, and then we have an else statement where if it is not equal to this, equal to 0. So that is obviously for our closed lost. So once you're happy and you've made changes to everything, all you need to do is go ahead and press set formula. And that is going to work out based on the status option, the percentage to allocate as the predicted revenue for that deal. So if I change the status to new now, you can see that that changes to 20% of the deal value. If I change this to discovery, it's going to be 30%, proposal 40%. We've got negotiation, which remind me, negotiation is 80%, so that's a big jump from proposal to negotiation. And then obviously closed one is going to be the total amount of the deal value, okay? If I change it to lost, it's going to be 0. Now you can see here that it's just a 0. If you go to the bottom here and select this option, so the sum of, just go ahead and select the $sign so it's applicable to what we're talking about here. And the other thing I would recommend doing is if you have set up this system and there are other people using it, just go ahead and lock the formula column. So go to the 3 dotted button on the far right hand side of the formula column and restrict column editing, or you could restrict the column view so no one can even see it, but definitely at least restrict column editing, because it's very easy to break a formula column, and once it's broken, it's a headache to fix. So I'd lock it to make sure no one is mucking around with it, making changes, or could potentially break it, okay? So now we are familiar with how to set up a formula to predict the value of a deal based on the status of the deal. That's a lot of words. Now hopefully you're familiar. Again, if you need to make any changes, just click in to the formula and you can change this to, let's say, 35% or 55% or whatever you like, and then just press set formula. Then what I want to show you is how to forecast on this information. So I'm going to move this back up. I'm going to change this status to proposal, and you can see here we've got 2 close dates. We've got 10th of May and 4th of April. And then we've got different formulas or predicted values for these opportunities. If I change this to discovery, that's going to reduce the amount. Now, I want to be able to forecast and I want to literally see it live. So to do this, what we'll do is go to the plus button on the far left-hand side here. And what we want to do is just add a dashboard. There are a number of different ways you can do this, but I'm just going to create a new dashboard for the simplicity of this video. I'm going to call this forecasting. Go ahead and press create dashboard. You can choose to make it private or not, entirely up to you. And then just select the deals board that's going to be associated with this dashboard. So that's the one you've been working on for the formula column. Once you're happy, just press done. And then we need to go ahead and add a widget. So go to the top left-hand corner, press add widget, and we just want to add a chart. I'm just going to do the one. So select the chart option. And then what I'll do is go to the 3 dotted button on the far right-hand side. And firstly, I'm going to dock the widget so it takes up the entire page. And then I'm going to go to the cog up here on the menu bar, and then we just need to make some changes. So I'm going to leave it as a bar chart. I'm happy with this. Then I'm going to go to my x-axis, and I'm going to change the x-axis column, which is the one down here, and I want to make this the close date, okay? So I want to know close date on a month-by-month basis. You can have it on a quarter or a week-by-week, depending on how you'd like to set up your forecasting, but personally, I prefer it on a month-by-month basis. From there, we've got the y-axis, which is the left-hand side, and we just want to change this to formula, or whatever you call that formula column. So I'm going to unselect count items, then I'm going to change it to formula, okay? And then this is going to be a count. We can add some benchmark lines if you'd like to, so minimum forecast or hopeful forecast. We've got some more settings, so show top and bottom items, show cumulative data, show empty values. Again, not necessary. We've only got one board associated with this dashboard, so that doesn't need to be changed. The only thing I would make sure you do change is only have active deals as you're forecasting. So you need to have 3 groups inside of your deals. So it needs to be active, closed won, and closed lost. There's only closed one on here, just the way Monday.com sets up the deal functionality, but just make sure you unselect closed one and closed lost as well. So you've only got active deals visible in your forecasting. Otherwise, that is going to seriously skew your data. And then we've got customized column matching. We don't really need to go into this, to be honest with you, in this video. So now we've set it up. I'm just going to hit the view button up the top here, and we have got forecasted values on a month by month basis. And this is awesome. So I can see forecasted in April is 28,000. In May, we've got $36,000 forecasted. If I want to make any changes to this, I can just head over to the deals. And let's say that this updates in April to negotiation. So this is significantly increased, but we're not closed yet. But I want to see my forecasting. You can see that this changes to exactly match the total amount of forecasted value on a month by month basis. Again, if I go back to deals and I add a new deal, so example, deal number 1, enter, and I'm going to say that stage proposal, it is worth $340,000. However, the close date is in June 12th, let's say. Then we can see that the formula or the forecasted value for this deal is 68,000. So I can go over to my forecasting and I can see, wow, that's the forecasted value for June, which is awesome. So if we then head back to deals and we get a dreaded phone call to say that this deal isn't going through, and I change this to close lost, the expected value or the forecasted value is going to be equal to $0. And you can see here that that is no longer present on our board or on our reporting forecast inside of monday.com. So that is how to use forecasting in monday.com. Again, the code is available in the description below. Please just download it and copy and paste it. Make the relevant adjustments. As I said, I would actually recommend make the adjustments outside of monday.com. So just if you have a TXT file or anything else, anywhere that's more suitable, go ahead and make those changes and then just copy and paste those changes into the formula column, because it does get a bit messy working in here. And once you're set up, you can go ahead and create the forecasting report that we've just gone ahead and made. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you need any help setting up your monday.com system, check out the link below. We'd be delighted to help. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.